Hey, I'm back. About a month and a half ago, I did a video on Sonar falling apart, and I thought I'd do a follow up because after that, lots of people asked me, like, what DAW are you going to? And I think lots of people want to know, like, what's a good DAW or what's not a good DAW. And to be honest, I don't know how much I can help you because I haven't tried all of them, and everyone's needs are different, but I can tell you what I chose and why. But before I do that, I'll tell you what I didn't choose and why. So, number one, Logic. I didn't choose that. That was just gone right off the bat. And the reason is not because of features or something I didn't like about it, it's just it's on Mac. I'm not going to buy a Mac just to get Logic. Although Logic, the price, I think is pretty good and fair for what it does. I'm not going to buy a new computer for that. Forget that. Second one was Pro Tools. That's right out the window. It uses a dongle, which I don't like that. The second problem I have with it is a lot of people just complain about it, how the company's just nickel and diming people. I don't like that. And on top of that, they seem to be having the same financial problems as Cakewalk is. I think it was like a year ago or 2 years ago, the parent company Avid was delisted from the stock market and they have a bunch of debt. I don't want to go through the same thing twice. Absolutely not. So that left me with a few choices. So the first one is people actually recommended me Cubase, and that was kind of my first choice because it has a lots of things I like. Particularly, it has notation, and I like that. And it actually has expression maps. I really like that. The thing that kind of put me off it though is the fact that one, it's not cheap. It's kind of an expensive DAW. Two, people told me the workflow is really different from Sonar. So I'm not, worried. I can get used to doing something a different way, but for me, it's like I'd prefer not to if I can. And the third thing, it has a dongle. So I was like, next one is StudioOne. Lots of people also recommended StudioOne. StudioOne I thought looked pretty good. In general, it looked like it did most of the stuff I wanted it to do, except for one thing. It doesn't have notation, which I don't like. It does have another program, Notion, that kind of integrates with it. But Notion, which I have and I like, there's one thing it doesn't do that I really needed to do, and that's being able to draw MIDI CCs. And like trying to move it back and forth or hook it up through Rewire. Could I do it? Probably. Is it the best workflow? Not really. So, if possible, I prefer not to do that. So, that kind of, tempered down my excitement for StudioOne. On top of that, it's not cheap. It's somewhat expensive. So, I was like, so. Next one was Mixcraft, which I thought, this does pretty much everything I needed to do. It's not expensive, so I actually was kind of leaning towards this. The only thing that I didn't really like about it, or I shouldn't say didn't like, one of the things I was worried about is it doesn't seem like there's too many people using it, and it doesn't seem like there's lots of support or tips and tricks and those types of things. So although it's not really important, you kind of do want somebody else to show me some tips and tricks. I like to show other people, so I don't want to be the only one doing it. Help me out. And the last one is actually Reaper, and this is the one I chose. And I heard about this a while ago, and I was going to try it, but the thing that kind of kept me away from Reaper is it didn't have notation. But now it does have notation. So I actually tried it. I liked it. There's some other good things. I was worried about the performance. The performance was actually really good. I think probably better than Sonar, or at least equivalent to it. On top of that, it had notation. All the other things I needed it to do, it did. So I was happy about that. And it loaded really fast and it doesn't use lots of system resources. So I was really happy about it. The things I didn't like about it is it kind of looks ugly at first. I tried to tweak the theme so it looks better, but still, I don't love the looks of it. But like I said, to me, it's a tool. So I'm not really trying to get like the best looking DAW. That's not really a huge selling point for me. On top of that, other things like Mixcraft or StudioOne or Cubase, I should say, come with lots of extra plugins and things, and those things are cool, and I think they add a lot of value to the DAW. But for me, I don't need that. I have Addictive Drums, Steven Slate drums, Jam Sticks, M Drummer, Contact, FM8, Empower Synth, Synthmaster One, Synthmaster, Harmor. I have too much stuff. I have all the Melda plugins. I have all sorts of compressors, delays, almost everything I need plugin-wise, I have. Well, I shouldn't say everything. There are things I do need, but they're not included with any DAW. So those types of things didn't really sway me one way or the other. Reaper doesn't have those things, but like I said, I don't need them. So for me, I'd rather just save money on it. And Reaper, $60, it seemed like a good deal to me. So that's my reasoning for Reaper. One thing I did like about Reaper that I found out is, one, it's customizable, but the regions feature was really useful to me. I liked that where you could move everything easily. That really helped my songwriting. So I'm hoping in the future I'll get more songs done this year. Last year, I think I finished like 2 or 3 songs, which is kind of really bad. I think I should be able to do more than 2 or 3 songs in a year. And right now I'm working on 3 songs, and I think I'll probably be able to finish all 3 before the end of the month. So I'm hoping I'll be able to do more of that in the future, and Reaper will help me. And I also like that even though it's complicated and there's a bunch of things it was difficult for me to figure out how to do, anytime I looked it up online, there's a tutorial about it. And I was like, "Oh, okay. How do you do automation?" But I put in Reaper automation in Google, and within like 2 seconds, I was like, "Oh, okay, watch this video. Okay, there it is. How do you route MIDI in Reaper? Oh, okay, there it is. How do you do this?" And so I figured it out, even though it was a little bit confusing at first, but yeah, hopefully it'll become easier over time. So that's the reason I chose Reaper. Other people obviously have different priorities. Some people like ease of use and how it looks is more important for them, and being able to easily navigate the IU might be more important. So for them, Reaper may not be the best solution. Other people don't need notation, so something like StudioOne might be great for them. Other people really like the expression maps in Cubase, which I like those too, but I think those might be coming to Reaper maybe in a year or so, I hope. But anyways, that's my thoughts. If you switched from Sonar to another DAW, let me know down below and make a short list of why you chose the DAW, so maybe that'll help other people. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you.